Hi guys, nice to see you guys again. Today our story time for you, a very short one. I want to keep it brief so that you also don't wonder, is story taisha sangapi? This is the abracadabra story of how I came to live in a house rent-free for 6 months in an abracadabra way. I'm still reeling from that. So, how it started. The backstory is when I left my previous job that I've mentioned in previous videos around 2023 June, the universe aligned me with a life coaching school, which is predominantly run on WhatsApp. I joined to join a money course, which I really needed. Then I found myself in a main group somewhere, and then I found myself in many other courses, including a second money course. So that's the backstory. Now, fast forward a year down the line, close to, because I joined the group in August, towards the end of August, beginning of September, I'm not really sure. I was a year into holding it down, using my savings to pay rent, never missed a beat. Then July came. When July came, I was having a hard time raising that rent. Some consultancy gig I was waiting for, come job, had not come together, and I was used to paying my rent early. I never delayed. I don't even think my landlady had an idea that I had quit my job or that I didn't have a stable income. But July hit hard. This is where the abracadabras started. One, I made a very good friend who lives in Australia through these groups. So when I shared that I was having this challenge in July, or I was foreseeing this challenge coming in July, towards the end of June, she one morning just hit me up that on her commute to work, she had the inspired action to pay my rent for 1 month. That's how July got started. Or might it have been early August? I'm not 100% sure of the times, but it's between July and August that we are talking about. So when that particular month was coming to an end, someone from my network hit me up and told me there was an urgent gig of people who needed my expertise in automotive. They had a project and they were willing to pay a pretty penny for 4 days of work. Now, put in my proposal, there was silence. Then an agency came a week later. That is how I ended up paying my August rent. I went into the second money course that I mentioned at the beginning of the backstory, and then I celebrated having paid rent. And I said that one of the things that I was grateful for, and up to now I'm grateful for this, is that I've been able to have a place to stay and keep up with my rent for myself, my two cat pets, housemates. And I shared that feeling good about myself. Then I went about checking my WhatsApp, other groups. That's when I came to one of the main groups, and then I saw the admin come life coach, life changing queen. I'll tell you about in another video. She had posted on behalf of another group member. She said, a surprise opportunity has come up. One of us here is offering a 2-bedroom house located in Kajiado, Kitengela. She's at Kitengela, Korompoi area, for 6 months, rent free. I read that, I was like, oh wow, what a nice opportunity. This place is full of nice opportunities. Then I went to exit the group. Then I went back and read the message again, and it said, if you're interested, nominate yourself here, not in my inbox. At this point, something just came over me. On the one hand, I've been able to pay rent early. Like this was 20 something of the month. And I think it was actually August 23rd, around August, where now I've paid for September. And I'm like, I've always been able to keep up. I don't fit the struggling category. But you know what? I need a break. I've been paying rent since my mom dropped dead at age 25. I'm 39 now. I've always been on beat. Other than that month that my friend Mercy paid for me, I've just been on beat. I could use this break. But we had thousands of members in these groups. I think she posted in more than one group. I was like, let me nominate myself. And my pitch was, I'd love to take a break from paying rent. At that time, I'd applied for a visa. I was looking at relocation to Europe. And I was like, I'd like to take a break until I move. The thing we'd been told was, if you qualify, she'll come to the inbox. And she did come to my inbox that day later. It was a Saturday. I remember that Saturday morning. She came to my inbox and she asked, will you move to Kitengela? And I asked her, you're my life coach. What do you think about this? She's like, I think for free rent, you can even move to Timbuktu. I was like, I feel open to moving. I know where the hell Korompoi was, but I just felt called to move. And this was interesting because where I was living was the most peaceful I've ever been. I loved that place. I had already told myself until I leave this country on any relocation plans, I'm staying there forever. Now here I was saying I want to go to Kitengela. I don't even know 2 things about Kitengela. Show me on the top of my list, I'll get back to you. Fast forward, I think that evening or the following evening, I'm not so sure. She called me. She told me I got in the house. That we were 3 of us, but my circumstances aligned the best. The other 2 people had different circumstances that were making the move not the ideal move for their own growth. And she's like, okay, the person had wanted to remain anonymous, but I'll give you her number, and she also plans to get in touch. So the following day, my landlady got in touch. She told me the story, and she told me the previous day, now Saturday, the day I paid my rent with my gig money, that she was just on YouTube and she had seen a story about another orphan, and as she was waiting to join her service, Saturday service, and somewhere along those lines, she also came to the money course and saw me celebrating my rent. And when she was thinking of offering that orphan anonymously online, the house, she wondered why not offer me. But then apparently she thought it might look odd because I would be like, now where has this one come from? I mean, Leonaji, like, how does she see me? Do I look needy? She decided to go to the life coach. But then instead of asking about me, she generalized it. And so part of the reason why she had broken her anonymity is because how it went full circle and ended on me. Mind you, this lady I met at one event, the first event I had ever gone for this group. It was a meet and greet for like a couple of hours. We didn't sit together. We didn't even speak. We got a ride home in the same car. It was a very short ride. So can you imagine that whole thing, the way it was working? It was mind-boggling, but as I said, one of the things is I'm calmer, so I was just watching this unfolding and I wanted to see. We planned. She came and showed me the house. When we came, we moved past Kitengela, and I was so glad because you know Kitengela is a bit crowded. Now we are going deep into Masaini and moving away from crowdedness to nature. And we came and saw the house. Rakadabra continued because the houses were 2. She had sent me a video of one and told me it's not this one that I'm staying in. She told me it's the one. But when we came, she's like, she also has another upstairs one. And that was very tempting because I was staying on 3rd floor where I was. And she was kind of selling me to it. It's like, no, I'll stay downstairs. Can you imagine someone offering you a house, then offering you options and saying, you stay here for 6 months? So the 6 months were from October to March. So guys, I did pay rent for 6 months. No strings attached. I've never felt so much peace. If you're watching this, my landlady, thank you so much for that. Now we've moved past that. My visa didn't come, so I didn't move. But the amount of peace I know when I'm here, I knew she's a landlady I'd love to have. My view of rent has changed. It no longer feels like that heavy burden. And at this point in my life, I couldn't ask for better healing to have happened for me. I don't know what the next chapter holds. I don't know I'll move from here, but this place has healed me. It's the middle of the night here. I'm sure you can hear the silence. That's how my mind feels. That's how peaceful it is. I sleep so deep here, and I'm still in awe. I moved here. I told my friends, I told my family, invited a couple of friends for lunch. My cousin and my aunt, my closest family members, came and visited. They found me comfortable here. My cleaning lady, who used to come to the other side in Nairobi, commutes here on a weekly basis to come clean. And so I don't say much about that. I don't want to belabor the point, but guys, I just responded to a text in a group where I would have written myself off and said, you know what, I'm a single lady, don't have too many responsibilities. Maybe other people could be the ones who need this more than me. I've just paid my rent. I paid my rent for a year without a job. I definitely will pay it again. But I took the chance and it landed on me. And the funny part is, once I was offered that and then I got another gig. So yes, I could have afforded the rent, but it looks like Mungu had other lessons to teach me. And I'll tell you guys about this in another video. But that's when 25-year-old me that lost her mom and had not realized how traumatic that was and how it threw me into the deep end. That's when she started healing. And she's been healing since that day to now. And yeah, guys, I can just encourage you, like, if you ever come across an opportunity and your mind says, do it, do it. You never know. Next, I'll tell you another abracadabra way I traveled to Dubai a month ago. Actually, it's a month ago. Yes, I'll tell you about that. So yeah, thank you for listening to my story. I really cannot add or remove from that. It simply just went that way. The time when I was moving here, my landlady just handed me over to the caretaker, and I came, and she's never been here. I invited her, she wasn't available for when I invited guys for lunch. So truly, no strings attached. And we've traveled, we've been on similar trips, like we've each signed up for the trips within the circles we're in. And we go there and there's no pressure whatsoever from her. It just is from a clean heart. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of this opportunity that was given to me. I have already, and I'm growing and I've grown. Still have a couple of steps to go. But this is a launching pad that I'm so glad I had.